The air hung heavy, thick with the smell of rain and fear. The small town of Willow Creek huddled below, oblivious to the danger brewing above. The old iron bridge, a sentinel against the roaring river, groaned under the weight of the approaching storm. Lightning flashed, illuminating the sky in a sickly yellow glow. The wind howled through the steel girders, a mournful song of impending doom. Raindrops, fat and cold, began to fall, splattering against the rusted iron. Each drop seemed to echo the town's heartbeat, a rhythm that quickened with each passing moment. Unseen, high above, a tragedy was about to unfold. A distant rumble shook the ground, growing louder with every passing second. Out of the gloom, a headlight pierced the curtain of rain, a single eye staring down its impending fate. The Midnight Express, carrying 200 souls, sped towards the bridge, unaware of the danger that lay ahead. The engineer, a seasoned veteran with years of experience, squinted through the rain-streaked windshield. He had driven this route countless times, but tonight felt different. The storm, the eerie silence of his radio, a knot of unease tightened in his gut. He gripped the controls, a sense of foreboding washing over him. The bridge groaned, a tortured sound echoing through the valley. The engineer's blood ran cold. A section of the bridge, weakened by the storm, buckled and gave way, collapsing into the raging river below. The chasm yawned open, a hungry maw waiting to swallow the train whole. Time seemed to slow to a crawl. The train hurtled towards the abyss, a metal coffin on a collision course with fate. The engineer slammed on the brakes, the train screeching in protest, but it was too late. The bridge was out and the train was going down. Panic swelled in his chest, but he shoved it down, clinging to his training. He had to act, and act fast. But what could he do? His mind raced, desperately searching for a solution, an answer to an impossible question. 200 lives hung in the balance, his hand hovering over the controls. He could engage the emergency brakes, but the sudden stop at that speed would derail the train, sending it and everyone on board tumbling into the abyss. He could do nothing, letting the train plunge into the river, sacrificing the lives entrusted to him. Either way, the outcome was unbearable. Section 4. The Weight of Choice. His heart pounded against his ribs, a drumbeat of despair. He thought of the passengers on board, mothers with their children, young couples on their honeymoon, elderly folks returning home. He saw their faces, felt the weight of their lives in his hands. Then, his gaze drifted towards Willow Creek, the town lights twinkling like fireflies in the distance. He knew this town, knew its people. He had grown up here, had friends, family, a life woven into the very fabric of this place. If the train went down, the debris, the force of the impact, it would trigger a catastrophic collapse, wiping Willow Creek off the map. The weight of his decision pressed down on him, threatening to crush him. Save the train, condemn the town. Save the town, condemn the train. Which life was more valuable? Whose fate was he to decide? Just as despair threatened to consume him, a third option sparked in his mind, a desperate gamble. He could send an emergency stop signal, a beacon of warning to any other train in the vicinity. Then, he could use the train's remaining momentum to push it as far away from the bridge as possible before jumping to safety. It was a long shot, but it was the only chance he had to save both the train and the town. With renewed determination, he slammed his hand down on the emergency signal, a beacon of hope piercing the storm. He then threw the engine into full throttle, pushing the train forward, away from the bridge, buying precious seconds. The ground shook, the train lurched violently, but it held together. He jumped, rolling onto the wet earth, the sound of the train's whistle echoing in his ears. The train, a ghost ship sailing through the storm, disappeared into the night. He lay there, battered and bruised, but alive. And most importantly, he had saved them all. The town of Willow Creek and the passengers on board the Midnight Express were safe, thanks to the quick thinking and courage of one man.